Okay. Whew. Um, okay. It's time for me not to apologize for something. It's time for me not to apologize for something. And not that chocolate milk. Say no to broken glass. And say yes to coffee and ginger ale and ice cubes. And say no to smoking. And say no to drugs. Anyway, it's just my little list there. Okay, can I just go straight to the jugular on this? People should give a freaking shit about black transgender women. Black women too. Black women too. But black transgender women, for the main gist of it, because well, I mean, somebody should. Somebody should give a freaking shit, about those, this, about them, because I don't feel like I want to, apologize for something that, because I don't feel apologetic to defending, I don't feel apologetic to I don't feel apologetic. I don't feel like I should apologize for black transgender women, and black women in general, to I don't feel like I should apologize for the existence of black transgender women. I don't want to apologize for that, because they deserve not to be here. Because they deserve to be here. They are people. They are colored, yes. They're transgendered. They're transgender oriented. Okay. But what about their souls? Right? What about their souls? Their hearts? What matters to them? Why are they so scared? Why are they so scared that, what? Why are they so scared to stand up and say, hey, I'm transgender? Or to stand up and say, hey, I'm black, and I'm proud to be black, and I'm proud to be transgender as well. They should not be that scared that they don't see their stake in this. They should not be so scared. they should not be so scared and terrified to stand up and say, "Hey, I'm black and I'm transgender and I'm freaking proud of it." You know, like I mean, what is this? Like I mean, it it's relevant. Like I mean, it's just not relevant to me, and it doesn't even and it doesn't even make sense to 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 hold something inside like that. It, if they didn't have the right to be here, then why are they here, right? If they didn't have the right to be here, then why are they here? It, it, man, we, but like when it comes to to black transgender women, uh, the world of men is like um, a nightmare because they're always saying because they always you know the world of men in that situation is like it is like terrifying and and almost disgusting. Not quite, but almost. Like it, who's the right? Like I mean, who has the right to be that we? Like I mean, who has the right to be that ridiculous and and blind to the fact that these aren't that these are people, right? Right? Like I mean, like I mean, what side of the grave are you dancing on? I like I like I know better than to get in a boxing ring with a black woman or a black transgender woman because because I don't want the responsibility of having to face them. You know, I, I, I don't I don't want that violent responsibility because it's not right. It's wrong. Because it is not right. It it's right. It's wrong to to even put a hand on these people because like in a way like in a way that hurts them. You know, like I mean they'd be doing like me in a boxing ring with a black transgender woman would do well. Would not go over so well. Like I mean I'd be ducking and weaving and trying to get the hell out of there. Like I'd be ducking and weaving. Like I'd be you know I'd be trying to ignore getting hit. I I would be I would be doing everything to get the blazes out of the way. Um, I I'd be like they're the ones fighting. Okay, they're the ones fighting. I'm not. I, I I'd be looking at every corner where I could go, where I'd want to, not to get hit, and for those corners, you know, because I'm terrified of getting hit. I'm terrified of fighting in general. So, like, like here's a, like here's an idea. Like I mean, here's a thought. Cat Black versus Brendan Solomon in a boxing at the fight. You know, Cat Cat Black versus Brendan Solomon in a boxing ring. Cat Black versus, like, introducing 250 pounds. They're going, introducing the 50 pound, like, introducing 40 pounds, and in black goth leather, and only 50 pounds, and only 40 or 50 pounds Cat Black. Now, in this corner, weighing only 100 and something pounds, in the true shirt, in the tied shirt, and rather very thin boxer shorts, Brendan the Coward Solomon. Right? Like, I mean, try something like that there. And see which one is the fighter, and see which one is going to want to fight. Which we need, and which one, and see which one's going to throw the first punch, and the first one that's going to start running like blazes to get out of there. There wouldn't be a fight because there wouldn't be a fight because I am scared of fighting, and Cat Black and Cat would be like right behind me, getting out of there, running out of there too, because like, I wouldn't want this, because neither one of us would want this. We're very sane. We're very sane people who don't want to fight. And no, and like, I'm saying, like, I mean, come on, like, I mean, me, a fighter. Geez, the only way you get me fighting, like in a boxing man, like, the only way you would get me fighting is living. Like, the only way you would get me fighting is to fight to keep myself alive. Okay. No, like, the only way I would be fighting like that is to get the guy that's on, and I can't believe the words that are coming out of my mouth. The only way I would be fighting in a ring like that is if there was a guy, if there was a freakishly heavy, and the only way I would be fighting like that in a ring would be if there was a freakishly tall, if there was a freakishly heavy and giant guy on top of Cat. I'd be beating him up for beating her up. Right? That'd be the only way I'd be fighting in there. Beating up the heaviest guy in the world because they're on top of Cat, because they're on top of somebody who's very not, like, the only way I'd be fighting like that in a boxing ring is if there was some freakishly large, and really overweight guy on top of Cat Black. I'd be beating I'd be beating him up for beating her up. You know, like in other words, I'd be beating the snot out of him for beating the snot out of her. You know, because like I'm in it because I don't like fighting. Okay, I don't. But I would be fighting to get a guy off Cat or off anybody else because the woman I love is under the woman I care about. Sorry about that. The woman that I care about is under a 50-pound gorilla for a guy, and he's just going like this to her, and you know, so help me, my Incredible Hulk would come right in, and I would just pick this 90-pound elephant off, the woman that I care about, and be like, right out the door and into the ambulance with only one hand, like, I mean, come on. And Will I'm at it, Will I'm at it here. I'd like to shout out and Will I'm here. I would like to shout. I would like to do a shout out to Cat Black here. I'd like to do a shout out to Cat Black here, like Will I'm here, because Will I'm here. Will I'm here. I would like to shout out to Cat Black. I would like to give a shout out to Cat Black. Well, I'm here. Fantastic channel, fantastic videos, fantastic content, and like all that, so like Will I'm here. I like to shout out to Cat. I like to shout out to Cat Black. Just for being Cat Black. Like, no funny business, just, I like to do a shout out to Cat Black for no other reason but for being Cat Black. Someone who's very creative, like over there, and works really, really hard to make the content he makes, and yeah, I like to do a shout out to Cat Black for just being Cat Black and for being a very creative person, a very like, we're both like I love the arts, and I love anything to do with all art. I love anything that's got to do with art and with art and music and singing and being a creator. I love it. So a little call out. I like to call. I like to do that. I would like to I would like to do a shout out to Cat Black, just because she's Cat Black, and just because she's a woman who is also transgendered, and because she's a freaking great creator.